Shumai, I'm Stuart Bloor, and some of you will already have worked out where I am by that introduction. I'm in the beautiful nation of Wales, and I've just arrived with my wife for a week's holiday. We've got a caravan booked. Behind us we've got the hills, in front of us we've got the sea. The beach is about 30 seconds away. As you would expect for an angler, I've already had a walk along the front, and the disappointment, if you can call it that, is that it's not really a fishing beach. Even at low water there are large rocks, so casting really is going to be very, very difficult. However, that's not really a problem. I'll just find somewhere else along the coast where I can wet a line during this holiday. But it is a fantastic setting where we are. We've got hills that literally come right the way down to the caravan park, dry stone walls as well, lots of birds. I'm definitely looking forward to the week that lies ahead. And can you believe it? The place we're staying has been given the name Fisherman's Walk. How appropriate. Mind you, before I do actually do any fishing, I'm off a little bit further down the coast to Aberystwyth, where I've got my final football game of the season. It's been a long but happy season for me personally, and Aberystwyth are playing Newtown in the Europa playoff final. I went last year to Bangor City versus Rhyl. We happened to be on holiday on Anglesey at that particular time, and can you believe it? It is a coincidence. I haven't planned it, but here I am, just a few miles away from the playoff final down at Park Avenue. Anyway, once that's out of the way, so to speak, I'll be able to crack on with the fishing. It's windy. Welcome to the fishing blog that tells it as it is. I blanked on session one. Mind you, in fairness to myself, it was just a short outing, which all my holiday sessions tend to be anyway, between 1 and 2 hours. Plus, of course, the conditions were horrendous. Two people did actually arrive, two anglers arrived, took one look at what was going on out there and went back to the car. And I always work on the basis that as long as you're bait in the water, you've got a chance. That's true whether you're a coarse angler, game or sea. Anyway, I did fish yesterday blind, so to speak, because I didn't have the benefit of walking the area at low tide, which I always like to do when I'm in a new place. Anyway, today I was able to do that. So I took a decent walk around the area at low water. I picked out the gullies, I picked out the mud patches, I picked out the sandy areas, the rocky parts, real big rocks, the areas to avoid. So, outing number 2, I've just arrived and I'm confident of getting a fish this time. There you go. The first bass, hopefully the first of many. Oh, and it's a bit lively, and it's a good job I'm crouching down. That's important when you're angling fish for the camera or the camcorder. There it is. Excellent. Your first fish of the holiday is always very special. That fish has now gone back. There is a size limit anyway on bass, but regardless of what I catch, they will all end up back in the Cardigan Bay, or the estuary as I am here, and then obviously into the Cardigan Bay. We're about half an hour off high tide now, and it's ripping in, it really is. The strongest swimmer in the world would not be able to get across from where I am to Barnet. Absolutely pulling in. And especially if you're a sea angler, if you're an angler of any description of course, but especially if you're a sea angler, then you need to give the sea the absolute and utmost respect. Safety first wherever you decide to pitch up. Anyway, I'm in a safe place here, and I'm hoping to add to my tally of 1 bass. I'm off often asked by coarse fishing anglers, I'm off on my holidays to the seaside, can I use my coarse gear for beach fishing? And the answer is no. You need something a bit more substantial than a carp rod. And I've just caught a little crab. He was hanging on for dear life. Anyway, it's going back as well. Well, I'm not a blanker as long as we include these. I'm not a fish blanker either, because I've just caught what is known in the sea fishing trade as a doggy. And there it is. Very, very lively these are. They wrap themselves around you. They've got skin like, it's still got the worm there. They've got skin like sandpaper. And as you can see, as I've said already, they wrap themselves around you. Not every angler's favourite, but I'll tell you, sometimes they avoid a blank. And I've now caught my target species, which is always nice. Doesn't matter what sort of fishing you do, when you have a particular species in mind, it's always good to catch it, isn't it? I hope you're enjoying the video so far. I've got one more session to go, but before I do it the estuary for the final time this holiday, I'm going down to our beach where the caravan is, and I'm going to do some exploring with my camcorder, of course, in the rock pools. I'm ready to go for my final session, and what a difference a day makes. We sometimes say, well, a week definitely has made a big difference. Well, 4 days to be precise. Lovely and calm this evening. Just to show you my rig quickly before I cast out, I've got a gripper lead on there. That helps as a tide starts to come in. Gives me that little bit of an advantage when it starts to rip through a little bit. On this particular setup, I've got one, they're not baited yet of course, two, and you can see the beads there, and 3 hooks, and on the other one I've got 2, so plenty of chances I'm giving myself to catch a fish on my final session. The one thing I would say about the weather, and I'm watching the rod tops as I talk, is never let it stop you from going fishing. Whatever your discipline, coarse, sea or game, don't let the conditions put you off. Of course, the conditions in terms of how high the river is, or how much rain has come in, how coloured the pool is, all that sort of stuff, that might determine what we fish for or where we fish. But as far as the conditions themselves are concerned, and certainly from my own angle, I never let it put me off angling. I'll never stay at home because it's too wet, too windy, too icy, too hot, too sunny, whatever it might be. I just go anyway. And that ultimately pays off, doesn't it? The one thing I love about angling is not just the fishing itself, but the fact that it puts me in the great outdoors. And where I am now, what a beautiful place it is to wet a line. And it's a sign that I'm here at low water fishing into the incoming tide, because I've just had a double header of flounders. And I don't know about you, but I always associate estuaries at low water with this particular species. Excellent, what a fantastic start to the session. First cast as well. my next catch, a PB weed, I think. Look at all that. That's why you need proper gear when you're out sea fishing, certainly on the beach. I'm trying to get this weed off. It's like plucking a pheasant. Ah, look what's in there. I've only just noticed a little eel. For those who watch my videos on a regular basis, I do appreciate that very much. But if you could let the occasional advert run, that would also be very much appreciated. I run a small charity that works mainly in Africa, and what I've done is I've set my YouTube account up so that the ads, the money that comes in from the ads, actually goes straight into the charity's account. And I know it's a bit of a nuisance sometimes, and most of us wait for that countdown, 5, 4, 3, etc. seconds, till we can skip the ad. But as I say, if you could let the odd advertisement run, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you. I've got a little tap on one of my rods and I'm striking. The best bass of the week. Well, that was great. I was only setting myself up for a little chat in front of the camera, and as I did so, the rod went, got that bite, got that little tap, struck into it, and the rest, as they say, is history. And as I've already stated, the biggest fish of the week so far. Keeping the best till last. It's getting well into dusk now, and I've just had another big thud on the one rod. That was definitely a fish enquiry of one description or another. I'm waiting to see if it develops, of course. If it does, then we could have another fish live on camera. I didn't catch anything that particular time. This will be my final clip now here on the bank, so regardless of what I do catch or I don't catch in the final minutes, the actual final clip will be back at the caravan, so I'll see you there. Back at the caravan, as I said, and I actually caught lesser spotted dogfish and bass after I finished filming, so I've had a great week's fishing. Deb, have you enjoyed your holiday?
Yes, I have, yes.
What have you been up to tonight while I've been away?
I went for a walk around the site.
Was it good?
Yes, very good.
Yeah.
Visited my sheep.
And I noticed you've been doing some loom banding as well.
I have, yes.
Yeah.
Just playing.
Anyway, Deb, it's our first visit to this particular place, but as far as I'm concerned, I think we'll be back. How about you?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, the fishing's been great anyway.
Yeah, it has been, yeah.
And Deb, in a couple of days' time, it's our 28th wedding anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't forgotten.
Very
So,
good.
happy anniversary.
Yes, and to you.
And I'll see you next week with another video.